Please don't hurt me. I was just trying to seem tough in front of my friends.
Well, you're in trouble now, lad. I've been a world-famous tough guy since I was 55.
Welcome to Watch Mojo. And today we're counting down our picks for the most notable reactions celebrities had to being lampooned on Family Guy.
Adrien Brody.
Adrien Brody?
Oh. Yeah.
What happened?
He didn't take it all that well.
Right.
Number 30, Dwayne Johnson. Before becoming a Hollywood star, he had much humbler beginnings. In Big Man on Hippocampus, the real Dwayne Johnson simulates intercourse between Peter and Lois by smashing two dolls together. It's a simple premise with no dialogue, yet still managed to be hilarious, and Johnson agreed. He went on to discuss how big of a fan of the program he was, doing the scene as a favor to Seth himself. The two still seem to have a positive working relationship, so hopefully we'll get another appearance from the former WWE star again someday. Number 29, Dua Lipa. Even something as simple as being mentioned in a Family Guy joke is considered a huge honor to some. Pop star Dua Lipa experienced this after being mentioned in Baby It's Cold Inside, wherein Stewie chides Brian for constantly commenting on her Instagram.
Stewie, I still think it's a bad idea for you to have this thing in here. Yeah, not really looking for advice from the guy who puts a fire emoji on all Dua Lipa's Instagram posts.
The show ties the line further by implying he'd even done so when she was a teenager, a risky joke that could have come across as crass.
She's not going to respond, Bri. She used to respond before she had so many fans.
However, Dua Lipa didn't seem to mind one bit, even fittingly reposting the snippet on her own Instagram. Though it was done to help promote cassette tapes for her single Houdini, it proved that she could laugh at herself and stay focused on her work at the same time. Number 28, Chlo Grace Moretz. Sometimes celebrity parodies aren't created by the program themselves. The outside world does it for them. This was the case for Chlo Grace Moretz, who had a photoshopped picture of herself compared to throwaway character Legs Go All the Way Up Griffin, Peter's great aunt who had all limbs and no torso.
I am going on a diet, and I'm not stopping till I look as good as my great aunt Legs Go All the Way Up Griffin.
Hey, baby, do those legs go all the way up?
The meme went viral online, quickly getting back to Moretz herself. It had an immediate effect on her self-esteem, as she claimed it worsened her body dysmorphia and caused her to become a recluse. Even though the joke had never been about her in the first place, it goes to show how even harmless jokes can end up having a negative, real-world impact on those you least expect.
Being kind with the words that you say to one another and the things that you say online, I think just compassion is key. And I hope that the world can, have a little bit more of that.
Number 27, Rachel Bloom. Having your work critiqued by another show will always sting, even if the jokes are coming from fellow comedians. In this episode, Brian marries a woman afflicted with the disease, only to immediately regret it.
It is so incredible having my appetite back. I love you.
Ah, shrimp. It's like I'm a baby bird.
His apathy comes to a head while his wife excitedly talks about crazy ex-girlfriend, all while poking fun at some of the tropes found in the program. Unfortunately, the show's creator and star Rachel Bloom wasn't quite so amused. She stated that while she understood the premise of the joke, she could feel male condescension radiating from it, pointing out how they conflated watching her work with undesirability.
So, a crazy ex-girlfriend sings this hilarious song.
Uh-huh.
It's all about how she's having her period, but the other guy she wanted to impress, the one who created the social media app, he walks in while she's singing, so now he's not into her either.
Though she said she wasn't offended, it's clear that it still bothered her to some degree. Number 26. Cardi B. A celebrity doesn't have to visually appear in the show to get lampooned. Cardi B learned this firsthand after she got a mention in the episode Pawtucket Pat.
Cardi B tweeted something, and I retweeted it with this.
She, or rather her social media, was playfully mentioned as a way to mock Brian's faux intelligence during a job interview at an online publication. Said joke ended up being reposted on X, to which the rapper quoted with a sarcastic deadpan joke about becoming irrelevant. It continued the trend of her tongue-in-cheek sense of humor, proving she could dish it out just as much as she could take it.
that is some top-shelf journalism.
Number 25. Tom Cruise. Family Guy has never been shy about satirizing Tom Cruise, with some dating back to the earliest seasons. In recent years, they've dialed it up from cutaway appearances to a full-on shtick with the introduction of Tiny Tom Cruise.
You want an animal cracker?
Sure. You got a lion in there?
Oh no, I eat those first. I believe eating the lions gives me power.
Yeah, I hear you believe in a lot of crazy stuff.
The humorous caricature depicts him as the same height as Stewie, with plenty of chaotic energy. Despite all the gags, Cruise has been a good sport, even appearing in an interview with Seth. The cherry on top was when he fired back after they asked him to voice himself in the role, with Cruise simply responding that the only joke was neither he nor Seth was tall. It was the perfect response, giving them the green light to continue with the bit.
How many can you do? How many? Like, what's the...
You know, just enough to avoid being myself.
Number 24. Cher. The key to a long career is the ability to laugh at yourself. No one exemplifies that better than Cher, who's maintained an illustrious career for several decades. In Quagmire's Baby, Peter takes to the skies to write a message encouraging the star to retire, serving as both a parody of Cher and The Wizard of Oz.
Now, if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go do some skywriting.
Though she's the ultimate diva, her response showed she was anything but. She reposted a screenshot of the scene on her iconic X account, alongside a caption saying how she was still laughing at it. That sort of humorous self-awareness has only added to her status as an icon. Number 23. Stephen King. Not even authors are safe from the program's never-ending satire. Stephen King had been the subject of a few cutaways, but the real parody came in the form of a full episode.
So I went to the library and picked up 3 books by the greatest author of the last 1,000 years, Stephen King. And tonight, I'd like to share them with you.
3 Kings lampoons 3 of his most iconic novels, each one more hilarious than the last. They satirized everything from characters to the plot, even calling out some of the inconsistencies in the stories. The show proved what good sports they were by asking for King's permission first, and he certainly didn't regret granting it.
And even though I'm the only character in this movie who's not a criminal, I will be the bad guy. Tomorrow's lunch is American chop suey. So you came here on a good day. Good lunch.
The writer complimented the anthology, going so far as to compliment the humor. Number 2. Lauren Conrad. Being the subject of a parody is one thing. Having an entire episode centered around you is another. Lauren Conrad appeared as a new addition to Brian's roster in We Love You, Conrad.
Hey, how about this one? You want to take a wizard on my id?
You remind me of my stepdad.
Just when you think the show will take the obvious route of calling her vapid and dumb, it suddenly subverts all expectations by revealing she's actually a multi-talented genius. The twist was hilarious, elevating the episode to a higher level.
I can't date someone who's smarter than I am. I feel like Jillian.
Oh.
What? What is that?
I think I get it. This isn't about me being smarter than you. This is about you still being in love with Jillian.
How do you know that?
Because I'm smarter than you, Brian.
She maintained a good spirit around the whole experience, gushing in an interview about the process and the facts she had to learn for it. It was the perfect attitude for her to have, making her one of the best guest appearances to date. Number 21. Dax Shepard. One can disagree with the joke and still engage with it respectfully. Dax Shepard demonstrated that when he confronted Seth directly during an interview on his podcast, Armchair Expert.
So I just wonder, have you moved through Hollywood and occasionally bumped up against someone that was sincerely hurt by the show or something?
Yes. Like what you've just described it's a very nuanced thing that is not as black and white as I once thought it was.
The joke was simple. Lois wondered if Brian electing to not remove a tumor that made him dumb would have negative effects, to which Dr. Hartman made a snide remark about Shepard. The implication of the actor's intelligence was clear.
If Brian doesn't have the surgery, will he be all right?
I don't know. Is Dax Shepard all right?
Well, seems kind of gratuitous.
Dax explained that while he understood it wasn't punching down, it still wasn't appreciated. He even called out MacFarlane and the show as a whole for presenting themselves as an outsider to Hollywood while wanting to be accepted by it. It was an insightful conversation that added a new perspective to the parodies they made. Number 20. Today hosts. You know that you've made it. when Family Guy makes fun of you. At least that's what the Third Hour Today hosts told themselves. Peter immediately catches Lois's attention when she mentions the Today Show. While Lois is eager to talk about Hoda Kotb and Savannah Guthrie, she writes off the Third Hour hosts as nonsense people.
Second hour with Hoda and Savannah, a third hour with the nonsense people.
Second hour.
Where is it?
A few weeks later on Today, Dylan Dreyer, Chanel Jones, Craig Melvin, and Al Roker had a good laugh over the clip. Dreyer called it a career highlight, while Jones jokingly blamed Roker for the savage burn. Craig was glad the two cartoon characters were watching their show.
We made Family Guy!
It's like the highlight of my career.
We were Family Guy!
I'm like, this is... Have you seen it?
No, I have not seen
Well,
that.
because it's your fault.
Thank you.
Considering that Family Guy is the king of nonsense humor, they should consider it the highest compliment possible. Number 19, Dan Rather. Have you ever noticed that when news anchor Dan Rather speaks, he sometimes puts a distinct emphasis on his S's, almost as if he's whistling?
To our soldiers, sailors, airmen, and Marines in dangerous places.
Well, the Family Guy writers noticed, and you definitely will too after seeing this clip. As Stewie watches the news, Rather reads an alliteration where almost every other word begins with S.
Several of Saddam's southern settlements, squatters.
This causes Rather to shoot steam out of his ear like a teapot, requiring a crew member to move him over. Rather hadn't seen the clip until someone brought it up on an Ask Me Anything Reddit. He responded with a reaction video, cracking up over the steam joke and proclaiming his love for it.
So that's your reaction.
Exactly. I love it.
We wonder what Rather thinks about some of the show's other jabs at him. Number 18, Rush Limbaugh. On the political spectrum, Seth MacFarlane and Rush Limbaugh are on the opposite ends.
You suck, and you're terrible, and you've been divorced several times.
You'd expect Family Guy to take plenty of shots at Limbaugh, but you wouldn't think the late conservative commentator would lend his voice. Yet, Limbaugh made multiple cameos in the Laugh It Up Fuzzball trilogy.
My good friends, the liberal galactic media is at it again. They never stop. Now they're trying to convince us that Hoth is melting.
He also played a key role in an episode where Brian temporarily goes to the far right. Discussing why he accepted these guest spots, Limbaugh explained that he saw it as a chance to branch out from his fan base. Plus, he thinks MacFarlane is really talented. Despite the numerous Republican jokes, Limbaugh didn't find anything in the script that he wanted taken out. Since Rush will be Rush, though, he did accuse Fox of burying the episode.
You see, you're not really one of us.
Oh my God. Lois was right.
Number 17, Sarah Snook. If they ever make a live-action Family Guy movie, Sarah Snook of Succession should be in the running to play Lois.
What, are you best pals with him now? Have you done a deal?
They could even have Brian Cox as Carter Pewterschmidt. Peter references Snook's likeness to his wife when he sends a mean tweet to her.
Fine, but I'm gonna tweet mean stuff at celebrities that look vaguely like you.
Confusing Snook for her character Shiv Roy, Peter tweets that her father will never give her the company. We don't think Shiv would appreciate Peter's comment, but Kendall Roy does. The same night the episode aired, Succession won big at the SAG Awards. Although Snook wasn't at the ceremony, she posted her reaction on Instagram. She also shared her Family Guy clip, citing it as one of 3 things that happened that day. The third apparently involved cookie faces. Number 16, Jonathan Lipnicki. We'd say that every former child star goes through an awkward stage, but let's be honest, everybody goes through an awkward stage.
There's the cute little guy now. Hang on.
Nevertheless, Peter is beyond horrified to find that Jonathan Lipnicki has mutated from the adorable Jerry Maguire kid to, well, this.
Look what has happened to Jonathan Lipnicki!
Oh, yeah. No, you're right. You should probably take care of that.
Although some of his fans felt Family Guy went too far, the real Lipnicki tweeted it was all in good fun, adding that he had done some voice work for the show. When TMZ asked him about the gag, Lipnicki stated that it was an honor.
You know, they're great guys, so I don't take it personally. I think it's funny, and I'm honored to be made fun of on that show.
Lipnicki also showed off his abs during the interview. Family Guy might have portrayed him as a pudgy, big-mouthed adolescent, but Lipnicki has actually gotten quite ripped. So we guess he got the last laugh. Number 15. Robbie Krieger.
So have you ever watched The Family Guy? Do you watch that show?
A little bit.
A little bit. Did you ever see they did a little parody scene of the Doors movie. I don't know if you ever saw it.
No, I never saw that.
All right, we'll hit play. We'll see what you think.
Peter is a lousy teacher, but he does give Chris and Meg a mind-bending lesson on film and music history. Venturing into the desert while tripping on peyote, Peter and his two eldest children pay tribute to Oliver Stone's 1991 musical biopic, The Doors.
But first I must inhale. And again. And again. Let's go to the Hollywood Hills and kill a bunch of people.
While Krieger was vaguely familiar with Family Guy, The Doors parody had eluded the band's guitarist. Almost a decade after the episode first aired, Krieger filmed a reaction video for The Doors' YouTube channel. Krieger can be seen smiling and chuckling throughout. He even cracks up at Peter's final line alluding to the Manson family. Although he seemingly enjoys the bit, Krieger claims that The Doors didn't do peyote in the desert. At least, not altogether.
Now, you guys never actually went to the desert, right? You never did peyote in the desert?
Not as a foursome, no.
Okay.
Number 14. Jon Stewart. Although Jon Stewart voiced himself on American Dad, he's only been mentioned in passing on Family Guy.
Steve, I read your sketch packet, and I just had to meet you.
According to MacFarlane, though, he got an angry hour-long phone call from Stewart about a Family Guy joke. MacFarlane didn't specify what the joke was or which episode it was from, but it apparently involved the 2007-2008 writer's strike. While both comedians supported the strike, Stewart would return to his show about a month before it officially ended. It's been theorized that the inside joke regarding Stewart saw Peter grow a horse leg and kick Brian for standing behind him. Whether or not this was the joke, Stewart wasn't pleased with MacFarlane. MacFarlane acknowledged that the joke might have crossed a line, but he stood by its message.
He was not pleased. I think his response was, who the hell made you the moral arbiter of Hollywood? Which is,
Number 13. Gal Gadot. We can't say that Gal Gadot's Imagine video was the worst thing to come out of March 2020, but what was intended to uplift humanity only inspired laughs and facepalms.
Imagine there's no heaven. It's easy if you try.
A year and a half after Gadot sang along with their fellow celebrities, Family Guy commented on the cringe-worthy video. Encouraging people to get vaccinated, Stewie notes that another variant could lead to another lockdown, leading to more of Gadot's singing.
If the virus is allowed to spread through an unvaccinated population, it could mutate into a variant that the vaccines might not protect against. And then we're right back where we started. Gal Gadot singing Imagine. We cannot let that happen.
Gadot has acknowledged that her well-intentioned video misfired and has learned to laugh about it. She shared the Family Guy PSA on Twitter, writing, "I promise I'll never do that again if you get vaccinated." Gadot even encouraged her followers to watch the whole video. Family Guy's official Twitter account responded, "Since you're vaccinated, we forgive you."
Well, I just realized this is like one of those Schoolhouse Rocks, except, without the rock.
Yeah, it's like school. Way to end strong, Brian.
Number 12. Sarah Palin.
So what do your parents do?
That's better. My dad's an accountant, and my mom is the former governor of Alaska.
When Chris dates a young lady with Down syndrome named Ellen, she mentions that her mother is the former governor of Alaska. It's a clear jab at Sarah Palin, who has a son with Down syndrome, who was about 2 when the episode aired. On Facebook, Bristol Palin referred to Family Guy as a particularly pathetic cartoon, calling the creators heartless jerks. Sarah Palin shared similar criticisms on the O'Reilly Factor, calling them cruel, cold-hearted people.
Those in the special needs community truly are some of the most loving and compassionate people in the world. So why pile it on to them and make their lives even that much more challenging?
MacFarlane discussed the controversy on Bill Maher, noting that Andrea Faye Friedman, who voiced Ellen and has Down syndrome, released a statement saying that the joke was directed at Palin, not her son. Friedman added, "I guess former Governor Palin does not have a sense of humor."
What Sarah Palin, I think, was doing was coming out and saying, "I'm here to defend you." Right. And what Andrea, the actress, had said was, this is, I don't need this. I love my life. I'm very happy.
Number 11. an audience of celebs. Stewie and Brian kick off the 2007 Primetime Emmys with a musical number paying tribute to television. Well, more specifically, all the garbage on television.
CBS was once a network that was reverent and clean, but today they've got some shows that are remarkably obscene.
Like the show about a little boy who lives with Charlie Sheen.
The tune is set to the melody of the FCC song, which already borrowed from the show tune Volunteer Fireman's Picnic.
ABC has got a lineup that's refreshing and alive, with its hits like Desperate Housewives just continuing to thrive.
And those women look sensational for being 65.
Throughout the song, the duo references the surprisingly creepy premise of Two and a Half Men, the ages of the Desperate Housewives cast, and Isaiah Washington's dismissal from Grey's Anatomy. While Washington wasn't present, T.R. Knight was in the crowd.
Now the Peacock's having trouble simply staying in the race, so I hear they're bringing Seinfeld back to save a little face.
And I hear Isaiah Washington is taking Kramer's place.
The camera cuts to reaction shots in the audience with Charlie Sheen, Terry Hatcher, Felicity Huffman, Eva Longoria, Marcia Cross, James Gandolfini, and Edie Falco all laughing along. Their last jab comes at the expense of The Sopranos.
Now The Sopranos is a show I'd recommend,
because you never know just how it's gonna.
Number 10. George Lucas.
Oh, sorry. This is my joke lightsaber. It's cute, right? Okay, for real now.
Although Family Guy and Star Wars have Fox in common, well, Disney now, MacFarlane and Company, likely wouldn't have produced Blue Harvest without Lucasfilm's blessing. Despite getting permission, MacFarlane didn't have the best feeling when they screened the episode for George Lucas at his ranch. The crew half expected Lucas to say, "You know what? We can't allow this to air." To their relief, Lucas laughed a few times, cementing his approval.
I just want to tell you both, good luck. We're all counting on you.
With the second Star Wars parody, Lucas did take issue with a certain four-lettered word and some other dark jokes, but he ultimately signed off.
I love you.
Off. With the third Star Wars parody release, MacFarlane said, "They don't allow everything, but they allow a lot. They allow Family Guy to be Family Guy."
Wow, there are all kind of manner of crazy monsters in here.
Yeah, and they added even more for the special edition.
Hey, what are you guys doing here?
Number 9. Cary Elwes. Cary Elwes has many memorable roles to his name. According to Peter, though, his only noteworthy contributions to pop culture are The Princess Bride and Robin Hood Men in Tights.
Dear Cary Elwes, I have been meaning to contact you for some time.
Peter articulates this in a scathing fan letter to Elwes. Some celebrities might call or email in response to a joke like this.
P.S. You were in Robin Hood Men in Tights. Did you know that?
Elwes went a step beyond, showing up to the Family Guy offices shortly after with a letter for Peter, which he read aloud in the writer's room. MacFarlane reflected the way he did it was just so epic and classy and hilarious that we now know we've got to bring him on the show for real. Since then, Elwes has indeed lent his voice to several characters, including Dr. Watson.
Amazing, Holmes. How did you know that?
Number 8. Alyssa Milano. This might be cheating since Alyssa Milano was in on the joke, but it's still technically a celebrity reacting to a parody. Defending the cigarette company he works for, Peter makes a joke at the charmed actress's expense. Little does Peter know that Milano is watching the episode live, and she has a lawyer on standby to sue if anybody ever pokes fun at her.
What kind of cheap shot, Joel?
I'm suing, I'm on it.
Fun fact, Joel is played by Ricky Blitt, one of the episode's writers. It'd be one thing if Milano voiced a caricature of herself, but having Milano make a live-action appearance is what makes the joke so memorable.
Alyssa Milano, I knew you were gonna be hot.
While Milano didn't really sue Family Guy, another celebrity on this list did. More on that later. Number 7. James Woods.
Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy. Ooh, a piece of candy.
Man, I hope that's James Woods, because if it's me under there again, I'm going to be really pissed off.
Where many Family Guy caricatures require an impressionist, James Woods has voiced himself on numerous occasions. Woods was flattered when the show's school was called James Woods High, paving the way for him to guest star. Although he's depicted as an eccentric antagonist who torments the Griffins, Woods stated in a 2015 interview that he enjoys making fun of himself, so much so that he doesn't demand compensation.
Family Guy is a funny thing because I just really enjoy making fun of myself because it's just, everybody else is going to do it. I might as well join in.
3 years later, though, the increasingly controversial Woods tweeted that he turned down a Family Guy episode due to its anti-conservative nature. Woods hasn't voiced himself since 2016, while the school has become Adam West High. Although his Family Guy days are likely over, we'd love to hear the unreleased recording sessions between Woods and Seth MacFarlane.
What were some of the things you were saying?
Oh, I could. I said, burn those tapes. No, I mean, believe me, we make more fun of ourselves than anybody else.
Number 6. Willem Dafoe. We'd gladly take an evil monkey living in our closet over a green goblin under our bed. Through a cutaway gag, Stewie reflects on how Willem Dafoe used to reside beneath his crib.
I used to have a Willem Dafoe living under my bed.
Hey, you asleep yet?
No.
Just checking.
Voiced by David Anthony Pizzuto, Dafoe pops his head out from under the crib, waiting for Stewie to fall asleep. The Oscar-nominated actor smokes a cigarette to pass the time, slithering back under the bed. Where actually do his legs go? Although Dafoe wasn't familiar with Family Guy, somebody told him to check out the clip on YouTube.
It's weird. I mean, I don't know the show, but I know some people really love it.
Dafoe thought it was weird, but he also found the cameo pretty cool, having a good laugh about it. Now, if only Joe could learn to pronounce Willem's name correctly.
Yeah, I just love William Dafoe.
It's not William, it's Willem.
Yeah, that's what I said, William. He was in Spider-Man with Kirsten Dunst.
Kirsten Dunst.
Number 5. Marlee Matlin. An Oscar winner and inspiration to deaf performers everywhere, Marlee Matlin has been parodied multiple times on Family Guy.
Hi, Stewie! Oh, come on, Marlee. I know you can't hear them, but you gotta feel those things slapping out of there.
In addition to neglecting her farts while passing by Stewie, Matlin struggles to book movie tickets over the phone.
Please say the name of the movie you'd like to see now.
The last Memty.
You have selected 300.
While Alex Borstein voices her, Matlin's agent supposedly got in touch asking why they didn't enlist the real Matlin. Borstein and Matlin later confronted each other on Seth and Alex's Almost Live comedy show. Matlin jokingly criticizes Borstein's impression and teaches her some suggestive sign language.
You want to learn some sign language?
Yeah.
Yeah?
Behind the scenes, Matlin defended the various parodies of herself, stating, "The day we censor humor is a sad one for sure. All I gotta say is, lighten up, people." Matlin would also eventually land a role on Family Guy, voicing Stella.
Nice to meet you.
Well, what is this? We doing a new secret handshake now?
No, Griffin, she's deaf.
Oh. Can she read lips?
Yes, I can.
So if I do this, I can talk about what a sweet rack she has?
Yes, but try not to make a boob-honking gesture with your other hand while you're saying it.
Number 4. Adam West. Outside of Batman, the late great Adam West is perhaps best remembered for voicing a fictional version of himself on Family Guy.
So it's a shouting match you want, eh? Well, game on, Quahog. I'm beating you!
Although you could argue that Mayor West isn't as absurd as some real-life politicians, he's still eccentric to say the least. MacFarlane's collaboration with West began on Johnny Bravo, planting the seeds for the mayor of Quahog.
Who are you, newcomer?
Johnny Bravo.
Oh, well, hand me that towel.
Over the course of nearly 2 decades, West led a crusade against water stealers, dedicated a statue to Diggum Frog, and destroyed the Noid. In various interviews, West has acknowledged how absurd his dialogue is, but he never had a problem with making fun of himself. You can tell how much MacFarlane admired West, and considering that West compared MacFarlane to Batman, the feeling was mutual.
For starters, he has superhuman abilities.
Number 3. Adrien Brody. Brief yet brutal, The season 9 premiere took a shot at this Oscar-winning actor's star power.
Just for that, when the movie of the story comes out, I'm going to make sure Adrien Brody plays you.
I guess that means you don't want anyone to see it.
Okay, all right.
But hey, that's not true, Tom. The house is packed when Meg goes to see that 3D movie where Mr. Brody does sit-ups. Of course, the 3D gets a little too real with Brody's nose poking out of the screen.
1, 2.
Despite making fun of him, MacFarlane reportedly let Brody know at a party that he was a fan of the movie Splice. While MacFarlane wanted to let bygones be bygones, Brody couldn't help but take offense to the mockery. MacFarlane didn't go into great detail, but apparently there were hard feelings.
I said, hey, I really like Splice. I hope there's no hard feelings. And essentially the upshot was, well, there are.
It's also worth noting that Family Guy isn't the only MacFarlane cartoon that made fun of Brody.
Hello, beautiful. How'd you get so beautiful? How'd you get that sunshine in your smile?
Number 2, Liam Neeson. Liam Neeson is a great actor, but the Northern Ireland native doesn't put on the most convincing American accent. Family Guy made fun of this with Neeson, voiced by writer John Wiener, struggling to play an all-American cowboy.
Gonna take a fortnight at least to get this herd down to St. Louis on Mississippi. This glen's gonna be tough to traverse, and that river's gotta be 50, 60 meters wide.
When Neeson's sons brought the clip to his attention, it marked his introduction to Family Guy. In an ironic twist, MacFarlane contacted Neeson years later about starring in his cowboy comedy, A Million Ways to Die in the West. Neeson agreed to play the film's villain, but only if he used his Irish accent.
I said, I'll do it on condition that I can use my own Irish accent.
Neeson has also voiced himself on a few occasions, including one episode where he beats up Peter. That's what happens when you make fun of someone with a very particular set of skills.
That's right. I hear you've been all over town saying you could kick my arse.
Before we continue, be sure to subscribe to our channel and ring the bell to get notified about our latest videos. You have the option to be notified for occasional videos or all of them. If you're on your phone, make sure you go into your settings and switch on notifications.
Number 1, Carol Burnett. Some celebrities laugh along with Family Guy parodies. Others take offense. But legendary comedian Carol Burnett stands out as one of the few who actually sued. At Quagmire's favorite store, Burnett's charwoman character from her variety sketch show can be spotted.
Wow, you usually expect these places to be dirty.
Nah, it's pretty clean. Carol Burnett works part-time as a janitor.
Although her screen time is brief and tamer than some other Family Guy caricatures, Burnett argued that Fox had committed copyright infringement and violated her publicity rights. Sources reported that Burnett sought between $2 and $6 million in damages. Judge Dean Pregerson ultimately threw out the lawsuit, citing the First Amendment as Family Guy's ace in the hole. However, Pregerson said that he fully appreciates how distasteful and offensive the segment is to Miss Burnett. Hey, she got off easier than Jimmy Fallon did.
And this is for laughing and looking at the camera during every sketch you've ever been in. Who do you think you are, Carol Burnett? You think because she did it, it's okay for you? You haven't earned what she's earned, buddy.
Which celebrity do you think enjoyed their parody the most? Let us know in the comments below.
Good to see you, Stewie.
Good to see you, Tiny Tom Cruise.
Thank you.
He likes to have the last word.
Be well.
See?
Bye.
Did you enjoy this video? Check out these other clips from Watch Mojo, and be sure to subscribe and ring the bell to be notified about our latest videos.